My mom texted me, "We changed all the locks. This isn't your home anymore. Get lost." My name is Julian, and I am a 30-year-old man from a suburb of Boston, Massachusetts. I still remember the vibration of my phone that night. I was in my apartment, back from another 12-hour shift, half asleep, when the screen lit up. The message came from my mother. It was cold, final, and mocking. "We changed all the locks. You don't have a home anymore. Let's see how brave you are now, haha." For a moment, my thumb hovered above the screen. I read it 3 times, letting the words sink in. My jaw clenched, but I did not reply. I did not yell. I did not beg. I simply smiled because they did not realize home was not theirs to take. I grew up in that house. Every nail in the walls, every corner of that property carried my sweat. My father used me like free labor since I was 16. I did everything from painting and repairing to fixing roofs and mowing acres of land while my sister got to study. He used to laugh and call me the son he never had. My mother would smirk, pretending it was affection. I believed it because kids believe anything when it comes from parents. When I was older, I paid the bills for electricity, gas, and even their mortgage. Once, when my dad was short on cash, I thought I was supporting my family. They called it my duty, but the truth was it was exploitation wrapped in the language of love. The shift came last year. It was subtle at first. Conversations cut short when I entered a room. Whispers behind closed doors. My name was left out of family toasts. Then one night I walked past the kitchen and heard my mother's voice. "The deed's in our name. They don't realize that." I froze. My heart pounded, but my face showed no emotion. That is when I knew they were not planning to share. They were planning to cut me out. So I did not argue. I did not confront them. Instead, I started studying property law and ownership rights. My father's sloppy record-keeping became my weapon. The bills I paid, the transfers from my account, the renovations under my name. I documented everything. Every receipt became a blade. So when that message came, when my own mother tried to lock me out of the very house I had kept standing, my decision was already made. I called my lawyer at dawn. "File the petition," I said, my voice steady. He did not need clarification. We had been preparing for months. 2 days later, their lawyer emailed me in a panic. "We have a problem. Call immediately." Of course they had a problem. Their iron cage of control had cracks, and I had widened them into a fracture. I did not call, I waited. The confrontation came the following week in a sterile mediation office. They walked in first. My father was red-faced, my mother was smug, and my sister was silent but curious. I did not look at them. I laid out a folder on the table. My lawyer slid it forward. Inside was the proof. Every payment, every transfer, every repair under my name. Thousands upon thousands. Enough to establish equitable ownership. Enough to prove fraud. My father flipped through the pages, his smirk disappearing with each turn. My mother tried to speak, but her voice got stuck in her throat. My sister's eyes darted between us, realizing she was not the favored child after all. She was just a pawn. Finally, my lawyer spoke calm and precise. "My client isn't asking for repayment. He's asking for the property." Silence, the kind that suffocates. I watched their faces as the weight of it sank in. That house, their fortress, their kingdom, their weapon was slipping from their grip. When the judge signed the order weeks later, I stood outside, the courthouse with the keys in my hand. My keys not because they gave them to me, but because the law had, because I had used their greed against them. The first thing I did was not to move back in. No, that house was poisoned by memories. Instead, I sold it for a profit. And with that money, I bought a smaller place. It's quiet, clean, and all mine. They still send messages sometimes. My father tries to guilt me. "After everything we gave you." My mother tries to use venom. "You'll regret this when you're alone." But regret is not in my vocabulary anymore, because when they locked me out, they thought they had taken my future. What they really did was hand me the match, and I burned their illusion to the ground. Now when I sit in my new living room sipping coffee in the silence, I smile. I smile because the locks they changed do not matter. I smile because the house they tried to keep is no longer theirs. And I smile because the message that was meant to break me became my final proof of their betrayal. They wanted me to be homeless. Instead, I left them powerless. If this story left you shocked, just wait until you hear what's coming next. Subscribe to Home Exposed and join our community where every story uncovers secrets, betrayals, and life-changing twists you won't believe. Don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button now.